Salut, tu m'entends?
Salut, ça va?
Oui. I'm Bruno Chatelin, filmfestivals.com, and we're very happy to have with us Jérôme Paillard. He runs and has been running the Marché du Film and Sinando and a few other initiatives. He's linked to the Film Festival of Cannes. And this year he's experimenting and launching the digital edition. First, it's funny, we both live in Paris and we happen to chat online. Probably one of the biggest benefits of this stupid virus we all had to live with, which is improving digital and giving digital a new room, a new space. And you are the best example, probably. First, may I ask, I do hope everyone in your team is well and hasn't suffered of the COVID.
No, we are quite lucky. Only one of them had just lost just the test for 2 weeks, so that's okay.
Okay, so no one got infected in Berlin, right?
No, I hope not.
Right. So you're now about 2 weeks from the launch of the digital edition, first edition. Can you give us a few figures and facts about what you saw, new trends, who's new in terms of attendance?
First, I have to say, and to also express a very big thank to all the people who supported that initiative, because we did it because we got a lot of requests from the industry saying that they were really needing something before the summer, and they really needed to be able to watch, to show their films, to watch films, to meet people, to push their projects, etc. And then that was the reason for us to do that challenge, to answer to that challenge. Just what we see now is that we have, as of today, we have 6,500 participants. So
6,000.
6,500. So I think we'll go to 7,000 or 8,000. So it's not exactly what we have in Cannes, but it's quite a good figure for.
It's not far. It's not far, actually. You usually have what, 10, 11,000?
12,000, yeah, usually.
Well, yeah.
And we'll have about 300 exhibitors and between 50 and 60 pavilions. So not far from what we have in Cannes. So that's quite interesting. A lot of screenings, actually about 1,000 screenings, 700 films, a lot of premieres, many films, of course, from the official selection, who has been announced last week by Thierry Frémaux, and also from the two other selections, La Semaine de la Critique and Acide, who also announced their selections.
Sorry, Jean. When you say many films from the Cannes selection, can you give us maybe an indication, a percentage of like?
I don't know yet, because it has been announced. Even some films doesn't have yet set agents, so it's really ongoing. So that's really, now we are finalizing the screening schedule, and it will be announced in a few days.
Right. Could, for instance, sorry to sidetrack, could the producer of one of the films selected in Cannes apply for a screening? Because I think you closed all.
We usually didn't accept films and screenings from the producers. This year it was really a market really focused on sales agents, but we did exceptions for the films selected because some producers may not have yet, as I was mentioning, a sales agent, and they wanted to show the film.
All right. And how many do you see? Because every year you see new pavilions, new sales agents coming in. Do you have a few new players on board now?
Honestly, we didn't really have time to go in with that kind of. But you can do it on Sinando, and I'll let you do your job, my dear.
Right. We'll share. Okay. May I ask also? Why you do 4 days of market online?
4 days, 5 days.
5, 22. Yeah. Oh, so it's a full week. Sorry, Monday to.
Yeah, it's a full week. Yes.
Monday to Friday, and I think you mentioned somewhere that you might consider having a few maybe panels during the weekend or not.
Yeah, During the weekend, no, well, I don't think so. And now no, but I think it will be very difficult to ask people the first weekend of the summer to say, okay, let's stay at the office to do a Cannes virtual. So I think the chance people will work on Saturday and Sunday is very, very limited. So no, I think it was better to do 5 days. Of course, people will be totally free to have some meetings between them after that during the weekend of the next week. The platform will stay open. We'll have a lot of catch up on the conferences, but everything will be concentrated into the 5 days. So that's about 1,000 screenings, and it will be about 150 events, conferences, panels, workshops, speed meetings, pitch, concerts. So a lot of events, so every day.
Sure. Talking about the panels, I saw on Cinendo and your website, I saw so far listed, I think 16. I'm sure you will probably change. But my question is, will these panels and keynotes be restricted to badge holders, I suppose? And will they stay online after the event?
Most of the yes, most of the. So first, to correct something, the program, the conference is not on Cinendo. It's on Marché du Film. So I don't know.
Yeah, sorry.
And it's much more. I don't know when you went there, but
2 days ago.
Okay. So now it's maybe already 100.
Oh, yeah, I didn't count the
No, it's a lot. Yeah, most of the events, of course, will be only for participants. That's also one of the reasons to participate to an event. Some conferences may be available in replay or even a few ones. So in live on the Festival de Cannes website, for instance.
Okay. It's a side question also. There've been rumors. I'm not sure about that, but about the plans for at the market at the Palais des Festivals. Have they been using this lockdown period to do some works and transformations of the Palais? Do you know anything?
No, I don't think so, and I think it was very difficult to do construction during.
Probably. Yeah.
So I know, and what was public is that they opened a part of the Palais to welcome homeless people during that period, and the mayor really took care of helping as it can everyone.
Right. Let's speak a little bit about the physical, the way you have been trying to go as close as possible to the physical experience of a screening. How did you build your multiplex, 15 theaters or so?
So we had two discussions. The first one was to say, okay, it's virtual, and when you say it's virtual, everyone thinks, oh, that's a link. And talking with all the sales companies, I think everyone agreed that it was very important to keep the momentum of the screening. So basically, a film is a screening. It's a 2-hour slot where people, people have to enter in the cinema, and if they missed the slot, they missed the film. That was the first decision. Then we had the question of the time zones. And after different discussions, finally, we decided that we will show the films for everyone in his own time zone. That's the very important part. So if a film is published, let's say a screening is at 10 a.m., it will be at 10 a.m. for distributors. You will not have to think. It will say, okay, it's 10 a.m. on my watch. Okay, I watch the film. Of course, that means that the film will be basically screened many times, but it will be limited for people from that zone. So people will see it at 10 a.m. in Melbourne. They will see it at 10 a.m. in Amsterdam and at 10 a.m. in Denver. It will be much easier. Of course, that works for the films. That cannot work for the conferences and the meetings. So, of course, all the live events, all the live meetings have to happen in GMT. So then we also offer in our tools, the tools we offer, some tools where people can use and request meetings, taking care of the time zone of the other person, like most of the calendar systems does.
Yeah, if I may ask about pricing, What did you decide to charge the sales agents regarding their booth and a screening room or a
So
screen?
it has been very, very cheap. And we really, it's a reason for which we kept that offer for the regular sales companies. Not necessarily people who have a booth in the Palais, but companies who are regularly attending AFM, EFM, and CAM. And then for those companies, because we also understood it was really a very difficult time, we decided not to charge or to charge very, very small fees. So the only things we charge is accreditation, which is still €95 again for a week, and it will be higher after.
So each sales agents will have a, if we call it a booth, will have actually a couple of pages according to his lineup and
Exactly.
possibility to show his staff and contact details and book meetings and as if.
Exactly, and he will have a welcome desk where people can, he can decide or not to show that welcome desk, but basically where people can request a meeting during the event on a specified time where the desk is open, and then they can do the meeting or by chat or by video or by email. It's really based on what the way they want to work.
Okay. When is your website, the Marché Online, going to be live? When are you opening it?
It's exactly like Cannes. So it will open a few days before. It will be in construction. So maybe all the carpet will not yet be everywhere. And the exhibitors will have a few days to finalize their booth.
Right.
And then people will start to enter and to check that everything is connecting well. It's of course a challenge that people really need to be sure that they can open all the applications and they have a good connection and their mic works and their screen works and they can connect to their Chromebox if they want, etc. And it will open Monday morning everywhere. So let's say physically it will start actually Sunday night. The first screening will happen in New Zealand.
But everything the sales agents has to enter goes through Cinendo, I assume. Like
yeah. Let's say we basically marchedufilm.online is the integration of other tools. Cinendo is of course a very big part of that, not only for the data because it's where the everyone and all the sales companies have the data. It's where people will continue to find distributors to get the list of the screenings. It will be in Cinendo. Also, Cinendo, together with Shift 72, our partner for the streaming, is providing the secure screening rooms. And also, we work with another app called Match and Meet, which is an application for a German company called Talk. And in Match and Meet, it's where the networking will happen, where people can find partners, where they can request online meetings, video meetings, and also where they will be able to navigate all the conferences. And we have another platform for the speed meetings, B-Square, where we'll have 10 sessions of speed meetings on different themes. And of course, we will use Zoom and Vimeo Enterprise for larger events.
Yeah. Anyway, congratulations, Joe, from everything you've been able to put together, because that's a tremendous amount of work and innovative and difficult, and also linking that to the needs of our industry, and that's a huge amount of work. What percentage, what portion of this digital effort are you considering keeping for next year, and in addition to a physical event?
We don't know yet. We see that some pieces would be quite easy to transfer, and actually at the beginning we started to do something which was an hybrid market, when the market was supposed to happen in June with the festival, and it was from the beginning a hybrid. It became totally virtual. Next year, of course, we all hope it will not be just virtual, and we can keep some pieces, like maybe having some screenings for people who cannot attend, maybe having some conferences. I think it might be more difficult for the networking events.
Yeah.
And the combination between people around the table and some other people abroad is not necessarily easy to do, but we will see. It's really a next step. Let's do this one, and we will talk after.
Yeah, one thing is absolutely sure is that this period has taught our industry to use those tools, and unfortunately some of the people in the festival, in the market, were a little bit reluctant in using a bit of those tools. They now have to, and they know probably better. So it's probably what you just said is going to be able to grow naturally in different directions and make the experience even better. Of course, everyone misses the Cannes experience. What is probably a stupid question, but what is the one thing you're missing from not having a Cannes? How many times have you been doing this, by the way? How many years?
25 years, a little bit more.
All right.
So, yeah.
So what is the
No,
single thing?
of course, meeting the people, the real experience of talking with the people, to be able to share, to talk, to share ideas, to share emotions, to share films. That of course is what we cannot replace, and I think it's what everyone will miss for sure.
And doing easy business, I think that's the magic of Cannes. Is you walk, you meet people,
Yeah.
and you do business.
Yeah.
Is there anything you saw during this period where we had to think and rethink and reinvent ourselves? Did you see some trends into what the industry will have to provide in terms of content, new types of film, or?
No, but it's interesting because it's a question everyone asks every year, and I think we don't see really fast changes in the trends of that. We see year after year small trends in terms of the main countries for distribution, in terms of content. I would say not so much. We have always a lot of documentaries, a lot of animation, genre films. It's still something quite interesting, but you don't see that kind of turns where you say, oh, all of a sudden the industry changed. Of course, what will be very interesting is to see how the platforms will perform during the marché, and if they will be very active doing acquisitions. That's certainly something we'll see. Of course, we check, and all the usual players are registered from of course, Netflix, Quibi, Amazon, Apple. So all the platforms will be there. How much they will buy, it's really a question.
Refresh my memory. How long have you been doing the Meet the Streamers, which I think is very important?
Yeah, actually, I think it's the fourth year we do it,
right?
And we will still have a good series of conferences on that, including the big keynote with HBO Max, and so that's yeah, I think it's something which is very important now for the industry. So it's developing.
Would you agree, because that's perhaps only a personal thinking, is that the TV series made for platforms content are sometimes, I wouldn't say usually and not always, better than many films, and therefore what should the filmmakers be concerned about doing so that they can hit the
I don't share this opinion. Maybe first because I don't watch TV series. So, but no, honestly, I think it's something which was maybe true 4 or 5 years ago. I think now, also because of the number of series, there is a kind of épuisement, I don't know what's that, of the series. So honestly, I think the attractivity of the series is not really increasing, and of course we know the tension which is created by the series on the talents. That's true, but no, I think, and honestly, as many people, for me, that time, that confinement, was really a time where I've been able to watch really a lot of films every day, and honestly, I find so many fantastic films. And I've been lucky to see some of the films who are postponed in the distribution for the coming months. And I think there are a lot of real gems. So no, I cannot share this.
Well, actually, to be more precise into what my thought was, I think there are lots of gems in the screenwriters that do series. For instance, that's an old one, The House of Cards, which in my view, helped launch Netflix. I mean, each episode is worth one of the best films you've seen. That's a personal comment, right? And I think it's also because they probably work in a different way, and they work as a team, and of course, developing characters for series, you can go into details and build characters more. So that's what I thought, actually, doing a lot of binge watching during the confinement. And maybe a last question: do you see anything from Hollywood, or more generally from the United States, the recent events in Floyd and Black Lives Matter having an impact on the film industry?
Impact on the film industry,
you know?
I don't know. Maybe certainly in terms of subjects and the films we will see in the coming months. I'm sure it will have an impact. But on the film industry itself, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Anyway, I want to thank you. I thank you for your time. As a closing note, and it's a bit of humor, I just realized, I searched before we spoke. We at filmfestivals.com had a very strange experience in 2007. We did the Cannes on Second Life, where we modelized, we digitized everything, that, like the red carpet. And you
remember
that amazing year where Thierry had the U2 concert live. Well, probably one of my best Cannes experience. So live on the red carpet, U2. Wow. Even though we had to wait for 45 minutes. We did that. I mean, that's crazy. And we had like virtual screening on Second Life. And the technology at that time only allowed 20 people at the same time. I mean, it was crazy. It was fun.
Yeah. No, I remember very well. And to be honest, when we started to think about doing a digital marché, we were thinking if we were going on that kind of concept. We saw that Laval Virtual,
yes,
the market of VR, they did that kind of experience. We thought that the film industry was not really the right one to do that kind of things. And instead, we went on something which was very close to the normal experience. And I think it's already quite difficult not to be physically with the people, but at least you see their face. You don't want to have a clone of an avatar of someone. So no, but it was a funny experience.
I think you're very right, and it was more a joke and kind of an experiment than a desire to do anything. And I do remember speaking to my friends. I remember the expression on the face of Laurent Pétain when I told him, "Hey, you should take a look at that." He said, "Why should I?" No, I mean they had things to sell, to show, and he was not interested. Anyway, I want to congratulate and say bravo to all your team and the efforts and the people who help you build this, and see you online very soon then.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jerome. Bye.